Welcome back to the Cat Knit Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, April 13th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do all day, every day, whenever we're home, which is all the time now because yay. The past couple of episodes have been different and I've forgotten things. I haven't forgotten things. Had guests, one guest plus my cat, different locations, all that jazz. So today we're trying a different angle. So this is fun. Yeah, not that I need to explain that, but in case you were wondering, why are we looking down upon you opposed to like straight at? I don't know. Just mixing things up. Just wanted to try something different. Anyway, so if you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there. Show notes, all that jazz, the yarn store that I work at, but not currently because it's closed, but there's online orders that you can do. All that information will be on my blog, so please go check that out. And if you're on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below. I have a lot of knitting to talk about, and I have a finished object I'm very proud of, incredibly proud of. So yeah, I have a kind of a squished time limit, so we're gonna get started and we're gonna hopefully fit it all in before my time runs up. So without further ado, if you like to grab something tasty to drink, I have rewarmed leftover coffee from this morning, as we all do. But if you like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, an animal to snuggle, something to craft upon, or laundry to fold, or all of the above, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So everybody, I've gotten a lot of knitting done. I have knit quite a bit. First of all, before we get into that, I hope you all enjoyed last week's episode. Sam and I had a ton of fun filming it. I always really enjoy getting him involved with the podcast. He's very supportive of me doing it and is very helpful in many regards, and so getting him on camera is also very entertaining and very fun for me. So I'm glad that he can be a part of that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to try and involve him as much as I can with that I have ideas to do while we're still at home together at the same time. Because we're all home right now unless we're working. So yes. First off, I have a finished object, and this is a languishing whip, so this is pretty awesome. This is my Rainfall shawl by Knit Graffiti or Leslie Ann Robinson. This is a, don't want to knock things over, a asymmetrical shawl full of lots of textures, lots of colors, lots of fading, lots of ends, as we can see especially in the brioche section. Once I passed the brioche, I wove in my ends as I went, so that's nice. But yes, this is a shawl that she designed while Hurricane Harvey was going on. And so she started with the brioche, and I copied her in regards to her color scheme. So we started with the bright, happy colors, the just very hopeful, not gonna be a bad deal. We fade into the lighter blue, the darker stormy blues, the really, really dark, and then the black and purple. Granted, I know that purple is not always part of a stormy sky, but I did want to add it because I thought that was a fun dimension. I will say that this last garter border, did I do all the repeats? I don't feel like I didn't. Because I know I was running out of, I don't think I did. Nope. I did not. That's okay. I'm just missing one of them. Yeah, because I ran out of yarn. So the border, you actually marl 2 fingering weights together. And that makes it so it's a heavier weight. So you don't have fingering weight anymore, you have like around a DK worsted weight. And because of that, knitting that marled stuff on the same size needle that I was knitting the rest of the shawl on, I went up several needle sizes to knit this marled section because it was hurting my hands, and also I didn't want it to be so densely squished. I wanted to have it to have like a little bit of drape, which I think it does. So I'm very, very proud of this. I think I really love these kinds of projects, especially ones that have meaning behind them. I think it's really a beautiful work of art. I think that I played with color. I put color together in a way that created a masterpiece of color. If I do say so myself, I used Leslie's pattern as a play round, and now I have her beautiful shawl. It's also one of her first shawls that I've done, so I will definitely be doing more knit graffiti patterns in the future. It was super fun. I loved it. I can't wait to wear it. I did think about adding tassels in maybe like white. I think white, I'm very blown out. White tassels will be super fun, but I don't know. I have yet to decide or figure that out. I also need to still block it. I did wait to block it because I finished it last night, and I thought about popping it in the sink real quick, but I remembered that I needed to record, and I finished it last night with the purpose of showing you guys this morning. Or not this morning because it's not morning anymore, because what time is it? 2:19 in the afternoon. So I did not, I've postponed the blocking until I've showed you. Now I have, and so now I can go and block it, which is super awesome. Next up, I've gotten a lot of progress on my spring court sweater, which is a test knit for Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarns and Designs. This is a sweater based off of a spring, this is a sweater based off of a book by Sarah J. Maas. It is The Court of Thorns and Roses, which was, I have restarted. I'm rereading it. I'm loving it greatly. It's highly entertaining. But this is based off of the Spring Court, which is in book 1, and the other books I think. I never actually finished the series, because I'm pretty sure the last book hadn't come out yet when I had finished, when I'd gotten to that point. I just never read the last one. Oh, maybe it had. Maybe it had just come out. I don't remember. This has nothing to do with this sweater. Anyway, I love this sweater. I think it'll be so cute. I can't wait to wear it. The main color is Tristan's yarn. It is doe-eyed, which we should still have at the shop, I believe. It is special to our shop, so you can't get it anywhere else. The white color is dye for knitting. This was yarn I used in my For Your Fade, and then this green is Life in the Long Grass, and it is called Space Ash. I'm really liking this angle. I mean, it's kind of weird being like lifting hello, but I feel like it's working pretty well, and the lighting is really good. I think it's just this corner, especially at this time, because I angle the blinds up and then it just looks nice, and we're all happy. So this is going very well, and I think because I haven't had a new cast on in a while, and since I finished that massive languishing whip of a shawl, that was a brain teaser, and because I'm almost done with the sleeves, and so I think when those both sleeves get done, I will get to cast something on, and I have options that I'm going to go over. So this is what is behind me. But I have more to show you that I've been working on because I have done so much knitting. It's kind of crazy. So that didn't really get worked on, but that's okay. Just a bag that I had in here. Okay, so this is my, I don't remember if I showed this to you last week. or Sam showed this to you. I'm pretty sure I did, but I feel like I didn't move my stitch marker, my progress keeper. So I apologize if you've already seen this and at its current state, but I haven't really worked, I feel like I haven't worked on it in a while, but it could be just that time is blending together and I have no idea what day it is. But I do know that it is Monday. But when thinking back when I worked on it, all the days blend together. I know I'm not the only one on that. So this is my Powder and Dust shawl by Vera Valimaki. I am knitting this as a knit along with a friend from the yarn store, Andrea. She is working on hers as well. So yeah, it is a 3-color shawl, triangular shawl with these lace sections and then the striping and fading. I am very happy with it. So this top color is Life in the Long Grass. This next color is Sugar Plum Circus. And my last color will be this dark chestnut color, and that is a name I can never pronounce correctly, even on the 5th try. Peeplaloo Fields yarn. And I don't think she's dyeing yarn anymore, unfortunately, but yes. So that is my 3rd color. I feel like potentially have made a lot of progress since you last saw this. Where my progress keeper is right there. So I potentially have done a lot. This last lace, this is the second and last lace section. It is significantly bigger than the first one because there's only 3 rows of the little flower guys. But I believe in this one there's like 5 rows of flowers. So yeah. Once I get to a certain point in this lace section, I will add in my 3rd color, which is super exciting. I don't know, I love a good garter stitch shawl. It's just, they're just so squishy. They always have beautiful drape. I just can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. It's like a constant feel good, comfort knitting project. Always good. We need those right now, you know? So next up that I have literally worked on today, not before, well, no, I might have knit like 3 rows, 2 rows, maybe last Tuesday. Maybe, I don't know. Again, the days blend together. I have no idea what happened on what day. This is Anna's Cardigan by Petite Knit. This is a top-down raglan. Looks super like a sweater, doesn't it? But it's got these eyelets down the whole cardigan. So it's going to be very simple. It's just very basic everyday sweater, but it's got the eyelets, which I really, really love. I am knitting it out of Drops Charisma, which came from Slip Stitch in London, owned by my friend Rosie. She does have an online store, so you should definitely check that out. I'm really loving this color because it's very pumicey, because it's a good description. It's kind of like a purpley gray brown color. I don't know how well, that's a little bit better. I don't know how that makes that better, but I feel like it looks better to me. But so that's very exciting. I have less than 10 increase rows before I divide for the sleeves, which is super exciting. So yeah, I would say that petite knit patterns are not necessarily good first sweater patterns, because you do need to know a good amount of like how to construct a sweater and how sweater patterning works before jumping into it. So if you don't know about how that works, then I wouldn't recommend starting with a petite knit pattern, though they are super cute. They're just, you need a little bit more information. So, I mean, but if you have someone to guide you through the pattern while you're doing it, then more power to you. Or if you just like trying new things and you like jumping in head first and learning as you go, then more power to you as well, because that is also very awesome. We had the delightful pleasure, I know I'm going out of my regular order because I always talk about the weather at the beginning, but we're going to talk about the weather now because this morning, everyone, I think it was like 64. It was so cold. The wind was so cold. It was so strong. And I went for a run and it was wonderful, but it was like, oh my, I am very cold. But I love it at the same time. And the sun was shining and it was just like, oh my goodness, I'm in the air, the fresh air, being in the sun. I've been inside too long, running in the morning, good start to a Monday. So, it's been chilly today, is my point. But you get all the extra backstory because why not? Gives you more behind the scenes. You can imagine it. Me running around our apartment complex, being cold, but also loving the sun, prancing in the sunlight. So I came back and got showered, had my coffee, all that jazz. But I got to wear my new test knit sweater that is done for This Bird Knits. I test knit this for Annie. Did I finish it last week? The week before. I think it was the week before. It did not take me very long. I think I knit it in total of 4 days. Super awesome. Oh my goodness, it is so snuggly. I knit it on size 11s, I believe. And the only reason why I'm not wearing it is because we are not supposed to share pictures of it until it is published. Otherwise, I would still be wearing it because it is so warm and snuggly. And it's cold outside today. What is this insanity? It's like it's April 13th. This doesn't happen in Texas. In Houston, anyway. Granted, the weather has been so insane in multiple areas, so who knows what's going on? Who knows? Not I. No one asked my opinion about the weather, so I don't know. Next up, what am I going to talk about? We have lots of yarn to discuss. Also, side note, we're going to talk about some baking very quickly. I realize we're going very much out of order and I do apologize. But I made sourdough scones the other day. Saturday. I made them on Saturday. I did remember that day because I made them before Easter and Easter was on Sunday. So made them on Saturday and oh my goodness, I don't know if I'll make any other type of scones ever again. The sourdough scones are so good. I got this recipe from a friend. She sent it to me over Instagram and it's just a basic scone recipe that you can literally just check whatever add-ins you want. So I put in chocolate chips and I put in craisins. I used what we had. I would have preferred white chocolate chips, but we did not have those. I thought we did, but we didn't. That's okay. Still tastes delicious. Warm that little scone up, put some butter and maybe some jam on it, and it's, oh, so good. Would highly recommend researching sourdough scones. They are insanely good. I also happened to find a 5-pound bag of flour at our grocery store the other day for a very, very good price. And so we celebrated momentarily and then we moved on because upon wearing masks, it's hard to breathe for long periods of time, and so we had to move on quickly so we could leave the grocery store and all that jazz. But the point is that we're very excited about the flour, or I was anyway. So I need to figure out what sourdough endeavor I'm going to do next. I don't know if I want to do something that I've done before, like the bagels or the English muffins, or try something new like pretzels or focaccia bread. I think that would be fun. I also just really love the videos of people on Instagram and they like stick their fingers into the dough, and I just really want to do that because that looks like fun. Maybe that's a weird reason to want to make focaccia bread, but I don't know. Surely I'm not the only one. Yes, that is a thing. Yes, really enjoyed the scones. So that has been a thing. I've been reading a lot. I've been listening to podcasts a lot. I really haven't been watching a ton of TV, just because, like in the evening, or I guess like during the daytime, I've got stuff to do. I probably would turn on the TV to let it play in the background, but since Sam is at home working, that doesn't really make sense since we live in an apartment and that sound from the TV goes everywhere. In the evening, sometimes we'll watch something together, like during or after dinner, but then he'll play video games with friends, and then I will either read or watch something. And granted, I know I could watch something then. I also catch up on YouTube, but I've really just been, I don't know. But also, I have the potential of playing Animal Crossing soon because we do have a Switch, and I think that is a very big possibility. So I don't know how any of it works, but I know that people share their like island codes or something like that. So if you have any information on that, please let me know, because I think that sounds like fun and we can like hang out together. I think that visit each other's islands. Is that how that works? I don't know. I'm really excited to learn. Because also I know that I can listen to audiobooks while I play Animal Crossing. So that hasn't happened yet. It might have happened by Wednesday. Yes. Just, I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm very excited either way. I have been playing the free version on my phone and have been having a marvelous time. So, that was the test run because I didn't want to have to fork out the money for Animal Crossing, having never played it before, not knowing if I'd be really into it. But then I've been playing the game on my phone for at least 2 weeks at this point, and loving it. Like, so right up my, I love collecting peaches and fish and coral and helping the villagers and all that jazz. Making them come visit my campsite. I just love that. So that is very exciting. Are you into that? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are really into that right now. So let me know if you are. And yes, I'm sure there'll be posts about that on my Instagram sometime soon. Who knows? Maybe when this goes up, it will have already happened. So if you're interested, go check my Instagram. I may have posted about it. So all that Animal Crossing chatter is done. Just wanted to get that out there. And now you know. Okay, so I have been really good about I have been really excited, I should say, to finish a lot of things. I've been working really, really hard to finish things and like get stuff done. And that's what I have been motivated to do. And granted, I know a lot of people who are just like cast on all the things, and that is awesome. If that is what is making you happy right now, you do that. That is wonderful. I feel what will bring me most joy is to finish as much as I can. But also while enjoying in a couple of cast-ons every now and then when I finish things. Having finished this massive shawl that is a languishing whip that required a lot of yarn and a lot of brain power, and then also finishing this other test knit, and then previously the other test knit that I was working on that I haven't cast on anything for that, I think it's time to pick a new cast on. So I have options. I may cast on one thing, I may cast on two things. I don't know, I haven't decided. I also am realizing that I didn't pull in all the yarn that I wanted to, but we're just gonna go over this right now, and I'll mention things that I forgot if I happen to remember, because I sometimes forget. Most times I forget. So first off is this yarn. These two go together. This is Long Dog yarn. This is a coronavirus purchase. She currently lives in Louisiana. I believe she is from California, but her colors and yarn is just so gorgeous. This is her mohair base in the beach glass colorway, and then this is her single in the pinky swear colorway, with all of these beautiful speckles. I love them so much. So together, they will create the Cozy Days cowl. Don't want to turn on my audiobook right now. That would not be helpful. Cozy Days cowl. And that is designed by Comfy Cozy Knits. I believe her name is Ashley. And this is on her Instagram. But that's what it looks like. So we've got stripes, we've got chevron-y, we've got lace. Pretty easy, I'm assuming pretty quick. So that would be nice, because that would kind of be going along the lines of finishing things and then casting on something that's not on the bigger side. So I've picked smaller projects so I can feel really good about finishing something and then finishing something else, because it is a smaller project. That's option number one. Option number two will go from this side. This is so exciting. This is yarn that I got from Suburban Stitcher. This is on her slub base with the La Boheme or La Boheme, whatever. I've heard it pronounced multiple ways. Colorway, and I just think it is so beautiful, so beautiful. And like, look at this peachy bit. I love this peachy bit. And then we get this blue bit. And then the green and the speckles. And then the orange and the speckles, and I just love it so much. Look at that, that's so beautiful. My plan for this is to do a modified version of the Susan Joy shawl, which if you haven't seen the past couple of episodes, I just finished. It was my first Corona cast on. It was the Susan Joy shawl by, oh, excuse me, I have a text message. Let's turn this on silent. Andy Fagan, I believe is her name. And I used 2 skeins of Suburban Stitcher Slub in the Swamp colorway. Massive tassels. I love it so much. And so I think for spring, I really want to do a smaller version, because it ended up huge, and I love it, but I want a smaller version with the La Boheme. I think that will be so beautiful. So this is a good possibility, and that went so quickly. Next up, I have another summery knit. This is a souvenir yarn that I got at Southern something yarns. It was a yarn store in Alabama. I do know that. And this is Trailhead Yarns. This is 55% cotton, 45% linen. It's technically lace weight, but it's got like the hand spun vibe to it, so it could probably work as a fingering as well. My plan is to do the Storm shawl by Joji Locatelli, which I think that'd be super fun. It's not a shape of a shawl that I normally would go for, but I think it would look beautiful in this. So this would be fun. Next up would be a item of clothing, not necessarily an accessory, but this would be the Mira top, and this would be using the Drops Bell, which is another coronavirus purchase. This came from Slip Stitch in London. This is a cotton yarn, I believe. 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. So I think this is going to be a very airy, drapey top, and that is the goal. It's knit on really big needles. It would be instant gratification for sure. Possible cast on, because also it's getting hot, and like I say as I pull on a wool shawl over my shoulders, but it's getting hot. So that will be good. Another option is another souvenir skein. I got this from Hill Country Weavers when we were there in Austin for a friend's wedding in January. This is Life in the Long Grass, their DK base with the wolf colorway. And my plan is to do just like a little basic cowl. So possibly the honey cowl, possibly the bandana cowl. I am undecided, but something along those lines. So pretty easy, big needles, pretty instant gratification. But it's just a special thing to remind me, obviously souvenir yarn, that's how it works. Fun things, want the yarn to speak for itself. So that's an option. And then the last thing is include some spin cycle, which is my only skein of spin cycle, and it is beautiful. So this, you're probably like, what is this? We've never seen this before. This is yarn that I believe my parents brought back from one of their England trips for my dad's work. Not sure when, but it was a while ago. It wasn't their most recent one. I think it was the one before that. But the only reason why, or not the only reason, but like one of the main reasons why I've been motivated to pick this up and just pull this out is because the paper pattern has been living in the project bag that the Rain Falls shawl was living in. So I was constantly seeing this pattern and was like, you know, I need to make this. So this is the Across the Pond cowl by Andrea Mowry. I have wanted to make this for so long. I queued this up even before I knew who Andrea Mowry was. Saw it and was like, ooh, that looks like fun. I love that. And then later realized it was Andrea Mowry. So, let's see, are there better pictures in here without showing you the actual pattern? It'll be kind of hard. But, so we got color work and some texture in the gray bits. And the gray obviously will be her gray, and then my color, the spin cycle will be the color work. So I believe my parents got this at Loop in London. The very sweet ladies there helped pick out colors. This is Truth Bomb, the colorway Truth Bomb, and it's super fun. And then this is Quince & Company Cumlian's Goal dye lot 1 point something. This is Chickadee, the organic heather. So it's super soft and very fuzzy, but still very woolen at the same time, but not scratchy. And then we got the fun spin cycle. So it's super, super fun, very different. It would definitely be one to make my brain think, for sure, which we all love a good brain thinker, for sure. So this might be fun. This would be very different, be very like, we're just gonna do something a little bit different, shall we? This would not be as much an instant gratification though. This would take some time. I say that, I don't know, because we all know with color work, once you start, it's very hard to stop because it's kind of like potato chip knitting. You can't just have one, and you can't just knit one row of color work. So this might be fun. we've got a lot of accessories, 1 sweater, 3 cowls, and 2 shawls. And then the other option is also a shawl. It is my Bennett sister shawl, which was a potential birthday cast on for me. It's the Very Peach Knits, and the yarn is 2 skeins of fingering and then 1 skein of her mohair in the Peach Princess colorway, or Princess Peach. So that's an option. That is a bigger project though, but I know because of the mindlessness of that knit, it does go quickly. So I don't know. I really don't know. Do you have any opinions? Because I need opinions. I don't like making decisions. I just want to knit everything, but I also want to finish everything. Like, I want to finish things now. I will say that I do feel really good about the progress that I've made with my finished objects. I do feel inspired, and I have been doing a good job of like having a reading book to knit on the mindless things. I've got an audiobook and podcast to work on things that require more brain work and looking at patterns. I plan things out, all the Zoom meetings and hangouts and stuff. Like, normally I wouldn't be able to lug you don't walk into a hangout with this big bag in your purse and you're like, hi, I've got my knitting project that's got like 10 skeins of yarn in here, because I'm fading a lot of colors. Normally you wouldn't do that unless you were meeting a knitting friend and they would understand. But since we're all at home, we're all Zooming together, we're hanging out online through FaceTime, all that jazz, it's very easy just to be like, oh, I'm gonna reach down here and pick up my massive bag of yarn, and I don't know. But then also, again, pretty much everybody I'm Zooming with and hanging out with would understand that I would have my knitting anyway, so knitting's never been a problem for me when I'm hanging out with friends, which is really wonderful. I greatly appreciate that. So I don't know, just being able, I feel like I've been knitting way more, knitting faster even. So I don't know, I'm very excited about where my knitting is right now. Definitely not in a knitting slump, which is really great. So who knows what I cast on? Let me know your opinions, what you think. So yeah. So my time limit is kind of coming to a close. My battery on my camera is also running low, so this seems like a good time to call it quits on this week's episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and spending time listening to what I'm working on, projects, asking your opinion. What do you think? Leave your comments below. I need help. I need opinions because I don't want to make the decision myself. Hello, I'm a 9. But for real though, I don't like making decisions, and I would like people's opinions. All my social media, show notes, yarn store stuff, all that will be in the show notes. If you can support local, please do that. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy, staying home if you can, if you are working, if you are doing healthcare in grocery stores, whatever you're doing, if you are still working, thank you so much for doing all that you've done. It is scary out there, so again, stay safe. Constantly wash your hands. Alton Brown did a very funny video about washing his hands, and so I will include that in the show notes if you would like a little laugh, because he is very entertaining and I like listening to him talk about pretty much anything. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. Hope you're getting lots of knitting and crafting time done in this time that we're all at home. So, and hopefully things are not too crazy if you're having to figure out how to homeschool your kids. I know that can be kind of overwhelming, especially with all this stuff going on and while you're trying to juggle work, and knitting might not be the front thing on your mind. But if that is a calming thing for you, very good to make some time for it, because I'm sure that'll make you feel so much better. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Who knows what I will do next week? Will we be at a different angle? Maybe you'll be like, I don't know, will Sam be back? I have no idea. We'll figure it out next week. But until then, stay safe, stay healthy, happy knitting, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.